And sitting down with us right now is a guy who at this time last year was one of the newcomers here to camp, had just signed with the San Diego Padres. Turned out to be, well, let's say it, the biggest steal of the offseason last year. Went on to have a phenomenal season on the mound. Now he's back for year number 2. Nick Pivetta is with us here on 97.3 The Fan. Nick, it is great to see you with a year under your belt here in Peoria.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. It's nice to be back. Weather's good. Can't complain.
It's fantastic out here. It's just perfect. It's a great place for spring training. How's the old whip feeling right now?
Yeah, it feels like I haven't thrown in 3 months. The first couple weeks of spring training are always interesting, kind of working through the aches and pains and seeing what your off season kind of held for you, seeing where your body's at. But I'm starting to hit a nice little easy road here and just looking forward to getting to games.
You obviously, I don't know, how different is this spring training? You had, good career in Boston, but always were trying to find that next level. You found the next level last season. Is it a matter of trying to maintain that, or is there still more changes you continue to make as you try to grow?
Yeah, I mean, I think I always want to change and I always want to adapt. I'll say this quiet part out loud. There's 5 other guys that were better than me last year, and I want to be better than those guys. So what are the small adjustments that I need to make? What were the small things I need to do in the weight room, pitch mix, mechanically, velo? All of those things are kind of small factors. And then what 5 games could I have done better things, and how can I improve on those things and be a better pitcher?
We talked to Ruben Niebla, your pitching coach, who is just incredible to talk pitching with. And I know that you guys bend his ear a lot. Told us about the pitchers group chat, everyone kind of laying out their off-season like work and stuff. What does your off-season consist of? Not a lot of throwing, just getting the body ready?
No, man. I threw basically all through October. I was pretty upset about losing. I didn't really like it that much. I mean, I don't think anybody else did, but for it to end quickly, I just kind of kept my arm moving, kept my arm in shape. I wasn't ready just to stop. So I continued to work out. Me and my wife spent the month in California. So I'd go in and I'd train and I'd work out, see everybody, throw sometimes. And then I got back to my home in Jupiter, Florida. I work out at Cressy and just started to train again, get back to my workouts, continue to throw. And then once December rolls around, get on the mound a couple times, and then just it kind of keeps rolling from there. And the next thing you know, I'm here talking to you guys.
Yeah. We've talked to a lot of guys about that Cubs series and just kind of how it lingers. I don't know, from my perspective, Padres played well, Cubs played well. Dansby Swanson made some great plays. Yeah. It was a hair one way or another. And that's sometimes how baseball is. You didn't necessarily do anything wrong, but you don't win a series like that. How do you kind of, I don't know, process something when it just doesn't go your way?
Yeah, it's not an easy process. I mean, I think you take the week to kind of just let it kind of sink in. And, I was able to distract myself from watching more baseball, which I always enjoy doing, and watching other teams compete. And, but you kind of just let it kind of sit with you, and you kind of let that little fuel kind of help you, move through the off season, and as a group, use that as a collective to kind of push you through the next season and improve on that.
I didn't want to bring this up, but Crony brought it up when he was on the air. He said everyone was watching the hockey game.
Yeah.
I just wanted to offer. He said it was basically the entire clubhouse against Nick Pivetta.
Yeah, and Garrett Hawkins.
And Garrett Hawkins. So, not really strength in numbers in there for you guys, but you still got to be proud, right?
I'm always proud of the Canadian team.
Yeah.
I compete in a similar way to them, and I know how much I give, and I know how much they give. I will say that 3-on-3 is absolute it's an embarrassment to hockey, in my opinion. It's not true. I don't really like it. I don't think you need to speed up something in that moment, but the American team was able to take advantage of it, and they played a good game. And I'm happy for my American teammates.
So do you like the Manfred rule in the 9th inning, or the extra innings?
I think it's a little bit different for baseball players because
there's so many kids.
It's just, it's hard. I do like the second base. I think it makes games a little bit shorter, but it's just for rosters and for seeing how it was when I first started playing, the amount of turnaround and what guys were asked of. I think it just protects players a little bit better.
Yeah.
But it still keeps it pretty even. And then in playoffs, we go back to normal. But that's the thing, is in playoffs, we go back to normal.
Sure.
Second. So we at least get a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Talking to Padres pitcher Nick Pivetta here with Bennett Woods, as long as we're getting the awkward questions out of the way.
Yes.
Earlier in the offseason, we were talking to your new manager, Craig Stammen, about the ABS challenge system and whether pitchers were going to be able to challenge. And yours was the first name he actually brought up in why pitchers aren't going to be able to challenge.
Threw me under the bus that
He
quick,
did.
yeah.
No, he did.
That's crazy.
Like day one as a skipper, by the way.
That's
right?
crazy.
It's, I guess, rookie mistake, maybe.
And he loves you. But
He
he
loves
goes,
you.
I don't
thank
know
you.
that we can, in that moment, that 1 or 2 seconds after he throws the pitch, if we can totally trust Nick Pivetta to have a level head about where that ball went.
Yeah, I think Chris Sale said it best. I know for me, I'm the way that catchers frame the ball, the way that my pitches move, where my head is at when I'm at release. I'm in no position to usually say if that's a ball or strike unless it's like middle, but then the catcher's going to kind of help me out with that. So I won't find myself tapping my head at all. I just don't think I'm in the position. I'm sure somebody will eventually because they just will. They're confident, whoever that person is. But yeah, no, I won't challenge. I think he threw me on the bus there, but I will not be challenging.
Yeah, I mean, now the way he could make it up to you, though, is if he came to you and said, you've had a great spring, opening day starter. Is that something that you've thought about? I know there's a few guys probably worthy of that honor. I know that you would love that honor to go against Tarek Skubal more than likely on opening day against the Tigers at Petco Park. Is that something that you think about?
No, it's not really in my forecast. I'm just focusing on what I can do to help the team win. Wherever I pitch, I pitch. I want to pitch in the World Series. That make me game one starter in the World Series. That would make me happy. But it's the season's a long season. However it pans out, they're going to put the best person in position to pitch that game. It doesn't really matter that much. It's very important. It's a great honor, of course, but in the grand scheme of things, what matters is the end result, not the beginning. It's a great honor, like I said, but I just want to win, and wherever I'm slated in.
Well, it's got to be pretty cool for the guys in the starting rotation knowing that the bullpen is full of demons. There's just one after the other. And if one of those guys gets hurt, there's another one ready to take his place. It really doesn't end with the San Diego Padres, so that's got to feel pretty solid as well.
Yeah, they've done a great job of adding guys and bringing guys in, and then the talent that we have here, and they just changed, and they've had some really, really good innings and a really, really good years, and you're always confident, no matter what the situation is. Of course, I always want to be the one out there, but it's nice having that in your back pocket.
I know starting and relieving are different animals, but when you see some of these young guys, and everyone knows, Mason Miller and Jason Adam, Adrian Morejon now, but like Bradley Rodriguez, who pitched yesterday, we saw him a bit last year as well. How do the wicked stuff, like you process, what are you seeing out of some of these guys?
Yeah, I mean, I remember Bradley. Remember that? What was the game? Was it the game we clinched? Remember the double play, bases loaded? Yep. I mean, that's kind of solidified who he is. Very confident person, goes out there and works hard, but shows up in the big moments so far. So, he's definitely one to keep his eye on. David Morgan, extraordinary year, just started throwing like a couple years ago. I give him crap about it all the time, but, it's that, but it's the willingness for these guys to adapt and get better, and the way that they're being coached and managed has helped their careers.
And just speak for a second, if you would. Last one for me, just about your pitching coach, Ruben Niebla. We love getting the perspective of the guys that he works with. What makes him as great as he is?
Yeah, I get this question asked all the time. I think it's just who he is as a person and who he's developed into through his experiences. He has a certain way of communicating to you. He has a certain way of being able to get through to you but allow you to do it in your way. And he's very knowledgeable in that. And then he has a great understanding of how pitches move and how your arm is and how he can help get better, just tweaking little things here and there. And he allows you to be yourself and have fun at the end of the day. And he challenges you with fun things and interesting things to kind of compete with. Yeah,
for sure. And what for you, like this year, anything that you're working on new, something you want to do better pitch wise?
I mean, I want to hone in on my pitch mix that I have. I want to get ahead of guys better. I want to put guys away more. And it's just, honing in on those things. I'm not going to give too much away.
Yeah, don't. Somebody's listening.
I don't trust any teams out there.
They're always
we can talk about it more once we get into the season when I pull some new tricks out of my hat. But, it's just, it's getting back to who I was last year and just being a little bit better and competing with that version of myself and competing with my teammates.
Love it.
Clearly, Matt Waldron has taught him the knuckleball.
Yeah, clearly. Bust that
Gonna
out.
bust that out. Nick, it is
imagine.
great to have you back for another year. Thank you for sitting down with us, and have a great rest of your spring training.
Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
See you
okay?
opening day.
Yeah, of
Nick
course.
Pivetta, Padres starting pitcher. We're